Hi there, everyone. Happy good morning. Happy mid-morning. Well, I think today it's going to be Herbs and Flowers Day. It's been a while since I painted some herbs. And what we're going to do together here is check out this paper that I had to add watercolor grounds. I bought 2 pads of paper because they were on sale, watercolor paper. Supposedly 300 GSM, supposedly 140 pound, you know. Well, it certainly doesn't act like it. So I took the watercolor grounds and I put a nice thick layer on top of the paper. I did that for several sheets so I can, kind of keep going for a little while. And then when those are used up, I'll do the same thing again. So lesson here, well, it's not really a lesson because I just don't want to buy really expensive watercolor to just do these, little videos and exercises. But the thing is you can buy some inexpensive watercolor that works just fine. And apparently you can buy some inexpensive watercolor paper that does not. I've actually landed with both. So I always keep a tub of watercolor grounds around just for that case, for that purpose. I was a little disappointed in it because I, didn't want to have to continue this grounds thing, but thankfully, they do make such a thing as watercolor grounds. Anyway, what we are going to do is do some nice herbs and flowers. And first of all, I want to paint a bit. I want to add a bit of a background, and I'm halving my paper. Keeping it over here for just these little exercises. And I'm just going to take some colors, wet the paper a little bit here. And if you don't know what water grounds are, you can kind of see how they work. What was happening with this paper before the watercolor grounds was it was just, the paper was all coming up. I mean, that's crazy. So the watercolor grounds keeps me being able to utilize this paper for what it's supposed to be instead of, having to throw it out or whatever. It's maddening, but at the same time, I'm just thankful for watercolor grounds. So I'm adding just some really light, super faint color, swirling it around to the background here just for and yep, I'm just going over everything I have drawn out. Okay. Not a problem. In this case, I'm just going to take out some of the color like that. That's all I wanted. I just wanted some sort of color in the background and not just the white paper. Okay. That was with a flat brush. Now I'm going to take one of my nice little Canson brushes here. I'm finding I really, truly, really like these Canson brushes. They have a nice tip. They hold the water and the paint just right. I don't know. It's funny how they can make these things. But anyway, this one's a size 6. Part of this is going to be wet on wet, and part of it is not. So right now I'm going to go around on my little glass jugs here, and I'm going to get some purple, I'm going to get some blue, a little bit of green, a little bit of orange, a little bit of, oops, I need to fill my yellow. I will be right back. Okay, well, I didn't realize I had run out of watercolor yellow. So anyways, I grabbed some of my acrylic yellow that I have on hand here and watered it down, and that can work just as well. So what we're going to do here with a lot of water on it is we're just going to, well, first of all, what I've got to do before we go into that is I'm going to outline with this awesomely tipped brush. I'm going to outline the outline of the, mix it around a little bit though once I put it down. We're going to do a lot of different colors, so we're just going to kind of we're just going to be putting in different colors for kind of like a multicolored jar, I guess is the best way to describe that. And somewhere here I have some purple. There it is. Okay. And as I said, it's wet, so we're gonna be letting colors mix together, getting some really pretty blends, colors to mix together. A little too much right there. Let's kind of try to pull it out with my brush. I don't want all that there. Yellow and some blue. And what's happening with this watercolor grounds, putting it to this paper, it's allowing me to use this paper where without that issue happening with all the paper just crumbling off. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's obviously, what I realized was it's the finish, what they put for a finish on this paper. I mean, they didn't, I don't know how they do it, but they didn't, I don't know what you would call it. I mean, it just comes off, just flakes off. So, I mean, now I can do this, I can use the watercolor without that happening. It just works like it's supposed to, and that's what watercolor grounds do. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool what they do. I get out the white. Yeah, and that way, you see, I can just use my watercolor pad here as if it was okay the first time, which it wasn't, but anyway. And I'm not gonna, be mentioning the kind of paper. I don't want to cause a problem, or cause myself a problem, if that is such a thing on these channels. So just keep in mind the fact that it's important to, I mean, I did actually go by reviews, because I didn't know this paper, have not bought it before, and the reviews actually were good. So I don't know what the heck, if I got a bad batch or something. I honestly don't know. I mean, I was expecting, a really nice, fairly inexpensive type of water paper, and that is not what I got. So I will be mentioning it in my reviews, but for now, we're just going to use the watercolor grounds, make it so I can use it, and go from there. So having watercolor grounds around is a really good idea, I have found. It really helps a lot. Okay, so, I've used these colors. You can use any old colors you like if you do yours. It's just a matter of spreading around some different colors for your jars and letting them dry. And I mixed a lot of colors on my palette here, so just have a lot of colors mixing around and letting them blend together as wet on wet. So that's good. Keep in mind, watercolor dries lighter. So, you want it to be a little lighter. You put it, a little darker instead of a little lighter. You want to keep that in mind when you put it down. I guess I said that right. It kind of came out differently than the way I was gonna say it. Oh dear. Okay, so there we go. There's some cool colors for those. And then what I'm gonna do, I like to look at it and see, where it's at. See if I want to add or take away, which I do a little bit there and there. Okay. And then what I have here is basil, and Can't think of the name of that now. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Well, anyways, we'll paint it and you can maybe tell me what I'm not remembering. But anyway, herbs and flowers is what we're doing here. I'm using the point of my brush. Oh, is that funny? I can't think of the... Can't think of the name of what... Oops, I wanted some darker colors there. Of what these are. Well, anyways, I'm doing herbs and flowers. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I'm not getting able to bring it to the mind. Oh, welcome to getting older. It's so much fun. Not really. Okay, and then I'm going to add some purple to that red. You know, that's funny. I don't seem to have the purple I'm looking for some reason. Hope I don't mumble. I'm sorry. I do that now and then. When I'm really focusing, sometimes I will mumble. Not intentional, folks. I don't have a very loud voice anyways. They always tell me I have such a quiet voice, but I try to at least, you know, be loud enough for everybody to hear me when I'm talking on these platforms. All right, I want to get some pink here. So what I'm doing to, well, if I can find it, to one of my reds is I'm just adding white and adding some pink. So we want lights and darks. Oh, doesn't that get you? It's like right on the tip of my tongue, the name of these. Well, maybe as I'm going along, I'll remember it. If not, you can just... I meant to do one more stalk here, so we're going to put that in now. No, not clover. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Well, anyway, no harm, no foul. Vary the pinks a little. They're just these, you know, I don't know, stick-looking things, and oh well, it's all right. Like I said, if you know what it is, be my guest to put it in the comments. So anyway, we're just gonna paint this together. Follow along if you're painting. I'd love to think that you are. Actually got myself some, these are Winsor Newton paints. I didn't have any. And I thought it was a nice sale on them, so I thought I would get some. I like them. I really can't say that I like them a lot more than the paints I use, because the paints I use seem to work great. Seem to be great, but they're nice. I was just getting low on some colors, so I just, the deal was for 20 of them, I think it was, which turned out, you know, to be better, a better deal than to buy separately, so I just decided to do that. So now we're painting the basil, folks. Which herbs, who in the world does not love herbs? I used to grow herbs. Oh. Used to, you know, go out and pick them in the morning. and bring them in, and oh, the whole house would smell of, I mean, I had a huge herb garden, and you know, you'd get these, this beautiful aroma of the herbs in the house. It was awesome. I have since moved because my husband passed away, so I don't have those gardens anymore, but it was fun. I always liked doing my garden. But life goes on. Life moves along. Doesn't wait for anybody. My life is fine. I trust God very deeply for my life and my steps in it. And it's been challenging, but He's always been there for me to help me. And I like to give Him the credit. Sometimes I really honestly, between family and friends, I wouldn't have been able to make it without them. So, well, I would have, but not as well, put it that way. Okay, so there's some cute little basil, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to, they kind of have, basil you can definitely see the veins, so it's kind of dark. I didn't want, well, that's okay. I actually wanted it more green, but it turned out, okay, that's not a problem. We go back in and add it, kind of go with the shape of the leaf. Got some, you don't have to put them in, and you don't even have to let them be seen that much. It just kind of identifies the leaf a little bit. Now, as you can see, my little jugs here have faded a lot, so I'm gonna come back in with some colors here and put them back in because they faded too much. I don't want it faded that much. I wanted some color in here. And we'll just let that all fade together. And then what I think we'll do, so I'm just going to keep painting. If there's something that I think that, you know, you don't know, or that I don't know, if you know, I'll mention it. Otherwise, I think we're just going to keep on painting. And just, this is something that's worth mentioning. As I mentioned, I don't have my any yellow watercolor paint. Mine was empty. I didn't realize that when I started. That being said, I have some, gee, I hope I don't lose my voice. I have some acrylic watercolor, so that's what we're using in it. Acrylic yellow, and that's what we're using here, along with the green and yellow watercolor. They work well together, I find. Anyways. I believe this is supposed to be thyme. That's what they look like. I just spent Memorial Day with family. Had such a good time. My granddaughter. This past Memorial Day weekend, so that was fun. And she had a dance recital, so it was really cool. So proud of that little kid. She's 8. She was born with a heart defect, and it was operated on, and you know, she's just as good as gold now. Can't keep up with her. She loves to do things, and just full of a ball of energy, and so wonderful to see it. A little ways away, so I don't make everything, but I do make some things as much as I can. Of course, she's always glad that I do. They grow up so fast today. It's just mind-blowing. All right, so we're gonna add, I think I'm gonna get one of these maroony kind of red, and we need to have some contrast going on here with these pinkish colors. So I'm going to add this type of a cranberry, I guess is what you would call it, and kind of make it, you know, darker in some areas. Actually, I didn't see it till just now, so that's a good contrast color to, you know, to get your darks, darks and lights. All right. And as you can see, these watercolor grounds really, oh, sorry folks, you gotta, excuse me, love allergies. Not really. Okay, so we're gonna just get our basil leaves going here. This other set. Pull out some color. But I don't think I finished my sentence. These watercolor grounds are just, it's working awesome. As you can see, the watercolor is working just fine on this paper. It's, you know, really glad I came across that kind of a product along my journey somewhere. So I'm just taking yellow and green and just, you know, getting the shapes of the leaves in. And then we'll add the darks and lights and so forth. Define it a little more once I get these green leaves in here. Again, I'm using a Transin number 6 round brush. I have a lot of colors on my palette, and I keep the colors blending on my palette because that's what I use to, you know, get the blends of my colors on my objects, which today is flowers and herbs, time of year where it just seems to be cool to do some herbs and flowers. And these have veins, so we'll add a little indication of veins. It's not something you have to do. Totally up to you. Whenever you paint anything, it's totally up to you what you do. So you see, it doesn't take long to do these things. Whoops, that was the wrong color. Okay, that's okay though. All right, we're gonna do another little too much on my brush. We're going to do another set of, I need to make that more pink. It got stuck on there. Some more of these little tiny bit of water. These pink things that I still don't remember the names of. I really don't. Just basically lines. I'll just dab them on there. And vary your lights and darks of them. If you want. And then we'll dab into some darker so I can get some darks and lights. I don't think it can make up its mind today whether it wants to rain or not. It's just like wicked cloudy. And I know there's some sage leaves as well here. And I had one here. Oh, that's not the color I really wanted. Okay, hold on. Some more sage is more of a blue-green. So I was trying to get that. Okay. That depiction in here helps to kind of change the colors. Sage, one of my favorite herbs. Well, gee, I think it's coming out pretty good, actually. What else can we add here? I have to keep watching the clocks. I seem to be like not aware of time very much this morning. Oh wow, yeah, we're getting. All right, so we're just gonna water down the last bit of these basil leaves, and that's gonna be it for this one, folks. So I think I'm gonna do. I really like painting herbs, and I kind of like this combination of herbs and flowers. So I think I'm going to do a few, so I'll be looking for a few today, probably. Not going far today. I'm sort of giving my car a break from vacation and my own self a break from vacation. And so I'm probably going to do quite a bit of painting today. Whoops, that's the wrong green. Okay. And you could, you know, alter this however you like. If you don't like the way I've done it or whatever, you can certainly do your own way. This is just what I'm doing. If you know, don't like the colors or you don't like it particularly, just change it around and do what you like. You're the painter. One thing I love about painting is that, you know, I'm doing it, it's mine. You do it, it's yours, you know, yada yada. Don't have to stick by the rules or anything. You can just do what you want to do. Paint how you want to paint. Oops, I had too much water. Okay. That blue green, I think that this was supposed to be one of the sages. There's another sage here. Oops. Need some yellow in there. And again, I'll remind you that this yellow that I'm putting in, mixing in with my watercolor, because I don't have any, I didn't fill it. So I'm using my acrylic yellow. Works great. Works fine enough. And I think besides adding a nice pretty reddish bow here, I'm just gonna add I need a little more water on there, I guess. A couple of little red bows. How's that? Take some of the color from each one, make a little bit of a shadow here where they're sitting on whatever, I'm not really sure. And there we are, folks. That's our herbs and flowers for today. So check it out, watch it from beginning to end, fast forward it, zoom in, zoom out. Try it for yourself, I hope. And be looking for some more, because I will be doing some more, and I'll probably work on adding a little more, getting some oops, well, I was trying to say, I need a little bit more shadow colors, a little darker contrasts in areas, like I'm doing right here. So I'm going to go around with my mixture here and just off camera, just add the darker little areas here that I need to do for contrast. So have a really great rest of your day, folks. Check out my other tutorials. There's a whole lot of things going on this new channel. I mean, a lot of painting going on in this new channel. I started a new channel for mostly watercolor, I have a few combinations of other things, but mostly it's just watercolor. So have a great rest of your day, folks, and bye for now.